All right, guys. My wife told me I should watch this video. It's a Jubilee video. It's polyamory versus monogamy. Is monogamy unrealistic? What's funny about this video is that I used to be polyamorous. Um, wasn't for me. I thought it was. Me personally, maybe this is a little biased. I think a lot of people who are polyamorous are subsidizing their love with polyamory. I feel like a lot of people, they're not finding people they're happy and content with, and instead of looking for somebody who's better for them, they're just like, oh, what if we just date other people? Because, that's what I think. At least that's what I was doing. I didn't realize it at the time. I thought that that's how I was. I thought I was just that kind of person. And now that I'm monogamous with my wife and I found somebody I love very much, like, I'm very happy and I wouldn't want to be open. I don't think that it would have a positive impact on our relationship. But hey, you know what? Everybody's different. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I feel. At least a lot of people. I feel like most people are probably doing that. So let's get this started.
Middle ground is a social experiment that brings humans with opposing beliefs
Just like Mommy Makeout Day.
together. These discussions may contain viewpoints that are the result of misinformation. Remember to seek out experts and to be critical of your own biases while forming an opinion. Please see the humanity in each participant, and as always, we encourage empathy.
What the hell?
There's plenty of people out there that can separate sex and love, but for me, when I have sex with...
I mean, I could separate sex and love. I just... like, I could do a girl without loving her. But once you're in love, it's different, I feel like there's an intertwining. I mean, there are like hormone releases when you're doing it with somebody that you love, or just in general doing it with anybody. There's like bonding chemical. What is it, oxytocin or something, or something like, or I don't know. There's bonding hormones and stuff. So regardless, in my opinion, you can't sleep with another person or give up some level of your emotional. You have like an emotional tank. And you can only do so much with it. And the more you give to another person, the less you're giving to your primary partner. So,
with someone, I fall in love with them. And while I do have friends with benefits, these people are chosen very specifically because I know that I will have to go through heartbreak on my own when I have sex with them.
Why do that? But hey, you know what? Who knows? I mean, there's so many older couples, I feel like, that they go through their whole lives and they hit 50 and then they open up their relationship again. And they're like, yeah, let's open it up. You know what I mean? And that's always an interesting concept to me. But then also they have like a 20 or 30 year marriage, and it's just about I feel like that's so much different than like, hey, let me be poly day one and find my primary partner, when you're like, hey, let's get married at like 30, and then when you're 50, you've been together for 20 years. You're like, hey, we've had kids together, we've gone through financial hardship together, we've gone through all these deep level things that have bonded us together. Maybe we open up and we have sex with another person. I feel like that makes sense to me, because there's no way, I would imagine, if you've been with somebody for so long and you have all that experience, that you're gonna want to leave them. But if you're just like, yeah, I've been dating this guy, his name is Richter, for like 6 months, and he's my primary partner, but like, let's date as my secondary. Like, how do you, there's no true difference in that. The 6 months, that's not enough to keep that relationship bonded together. Oh, what a song.
Step forward if you agree with the prompt.
Okay.
I can separate love and sex.
Like, I feel like you really can't. Like, you could put emotion aside when it comes to sex, but like, there's always going to be a little bit of emotion there, and I would consider like that would be like love would be that emotion, right? So you can kind of, but then not really. You can, but there's always going to be some potential bonding. Dude, this guy's just fucking going for it. I can't help you, brother. Kill him yourself.
For me, I think that I can separate it, but oftentimes it doesn't turn out that way. This is kind of the cliche, but I do think that sex for me is better when I'm in love and when I have.
Oh yeah, for sure. It really is. When you were with somebody that you love. Cringe. when you're with somebody that you love and you have a deep, intimate connection with, the sex is always going to be better. You're going to know each other better. You're going to know each other's boundaries better. You're going to trust each other more. You don't have to do as much question asking. And just to be clear, you should always, of course, you always need to leave room for consent. But when you know your partner really well, you don't have to, you don't have to be. It can be more organic and can be more. It can be more organic and flexible, and you'll know what they want more, and it can be more spontaneous in a positive way, and they're more comfortable with you, so they have a better opportunity of saying no, and it's just like a better. It's just better. It is better. That's how making love. You know what I mean? You can't make love to a stranger. You only do sex stuff. You can only do penis gina.
Respect and communication with the person. I also think it depends on how we define love, because I could maybe, love that person as a human, but maybe not in a romantic sense.
Sure.
So I think there's a lot of nuance.
Like my
around
mommy.
it. I'm not really someone who's gonna say like one or the other.
I also agree with that as well. When you have those intense feelings for a person, the sex definitely hits different.
True, especially she looks like she's getting hit by Chris Brown, bro. She looks a little bit like Rihanna, no? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was not nice. But she's not. They're not wrong.
Knowing that you feel safe enough with this person to be emotionally vulnerable as well as physically vulnerable with them, it's a very special bond that you share.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I really resonate with that because I'm actually a survivor of sexual assault and I'm also disabled, so I think that trust plays a really huge role, and that perhaps could even,
I'm just sure. What's her disability? Just curious.
be more important than the love factor.
I think for me, I can make the clear distinction because I've had
Maybe
a lot
she has fibromyalgia.
of meaningless sex in my lifetime to make me feel good, to occupy.
How is that joke too much for you all? Really? That's the joke? That's too much for you guys? Okay.
The sense of loneliness. And then I've loved someone, but the sex part just hasn't worked out. But the love is there. And sadly,
then it's not true love, baby. Well, I mean, for different people, I imagine if you're not like super sexually driven, then sure. But for me, I am.
relationships like that didn't work out for me. And I do agree with what you guys said. When I'm in love and I can trust someone, it's better, especially as a trans individual. There's a lot of people out there trying to fetishize that don't understand your body or respect you. So having the love part makes it a lot better.
I love deeply. The people that are around me feel that. Love and sex to me are completely different things. They absolutely can exist separately. I hate the fact that even the polyamory community is fetishized as well, and it's like completely separate.
I just really don't think that you can completely separate love and sex from somebody. I mean, like, sex will lead to love. Like, it's a bonding moment. It's a very intimate bonding moment, so.
It's only about the sex. Similarly to you, I have a sexual trauma. I have things in my life that affected me deeply that I'm still dealing with to this day. And the fact that it's automatically just clumped in is just something that I have to kind of oppose.
Well, I don't believe this is true for everyone. Obviously, there's plenty of people out there that can separate sex and love. But for me, when I have sex with someone, I fall in love with them. And while I do have friends with benefits,
I was, to be honest with you, for these two here, I was not expecting to see people that were more normal, that are polyamorous. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I'm not trying to be mean or anything. When I see these two normal people, I haven't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but most people who are poly, they are unique. You know what I mean? They took their parents' words a little too seriously when they said you're very special. It's there's something about them. I'm just saying, man.
these people are chosen very specifically because I know that I will have to go through heartbreak on my own when I have sex with them.
I've been with the same person. My husband and I were high school sweethearts. He's the only person I've ever been with. And so it would be hard for me to separate sex and love simply because I've never had to.
I think it's also important to note that some people are maybe asexual. And so if I have an asexual partner, which I have not had before, I would have that discussion. And it would
Ain't gonna fly with me, brother. I ain't having no asexual partner. All right, I need multiple sexuals. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
wouldn't have to be integral to be part of our connection and such. My name is Jessica, and I'm polyamorous. To me, relationship anarchy really has to do with destructuring our ideas of hierarchical relationships in that
What is she gonna bring up, like indigenous people next? Every single time somebody talks about something that's like antithetical to the way that we exist, they always bring up like indigenous people for some reason. That's how that it's spiritual, capitalism. The indigenous people didn't do that. Oh, relationship, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm just I got my brain is too warped by online bullshit, isn't it?
That romantic and sexual relationships don't have to be at the top. I think it's actually a lot healthier to have a community with our friends, our family, romantic partners.
She's not wrong. You don't have to, like, my mom doesn't have a boyfriend or anything, and she has no interest in it. She could get one if she wanted to, or a girlfriend if my mom's a lesbian. I've asked her. I said, are you a lesbian? And she does not say that she is, right? But anyway, yeah, no, but my mom has a robust, like, friend network. She's very satisfied with her friends and stuff. So you don't need to actually sleep with people to be in love. Or rather, you can have non-sexual or romantic relationships. Okay, all right. I'll help this guy.
My current relationship status meets my needs.
Yes, it does actually. It's the first time in my life I've ever felt that way. It's unfortunate that you don't realize how dumb you were until you're not dumb. You know what I mean? It's so weird. Like, imagine we knew how fucking dumb we were before we were dumb. Then we wouldn't be dumb. But sometimes it just takes a lot of extra. It just takes a little bit of extra to get there, you know?
You know, one way I know I'm in the right relationship with my wife.
Oh, it's because they're monogamous. That's why they're not weird looking.
Each other, I love you. You know, you always start out in a relationship. Oh, I love you, and then are you still doing that 10 years later?
Oh yeah, you're still telling your wife that you love her? Are you talking about how fat her pussy is? Because that's how a woman knows that you really love her. I could see that. That's how girls really know, dude. That's true fucking love.
I've had both my fiance and I our fair share of struggles with mental health in very different ways.
Yeah, same.
But that understanding and that support, even if I do say something really...
Just kidding. I don't have those problems. It's a skill issue.
Even if I do react maybe erratically or violently during a panic attack, he keeps coming back. He keeps trying. Our love is stronger after every single...
It's like a fucking dragon attacking you. What the hell?
Disagreement in every single hurdle.
So for myself, I practice a type of polyamory called solo polyamory, or sometimes...
I think they just call that jacking off, brother. I practice that too sometimes, but, you know.
Style called relationship anarchy, and these two styles are inherently less about hierarchy and more about autonomy for myself. With my current relationships or what I'm able to achieve, it gives me enough flexibility for me to feel really good about the things that I choose to take part in. And even if I'm in a relationship that's not so great or a relationship that isn't fulfilling to me, I can still be looking for other relationships, or maybe I have another existing relationship that is more fulfilling, or that actually does support me in a way that my other relationships don't. My name is Randall, and I'm polyamorous. For me, the process of coming out as polyamorous was really...
Randall. Oh my god. Imagine naming your fucking kid Randall. That's just brutal, man. I'm sorry for this person. Fucking Randall.
Really, me deciding that getting out of monogamous relationships because I had feelings for somebody else was just not working for me. I noticed that other people were practicing other styles of relationships where they were being truthful to their partner.
You know what the biggest problem with polyamory is? That it cuts you off from the majority of the market. You know what I mean? From a dating strategy perspective, you're benefiting by fucking more people, you know, but you're not benefiting in the other way of having less access to people that are generally a little more normal, possibly a little bit higher up on the scale, you know. So, but it's good for you. Good for you.
Relationship. Oh, I love you, and then are you still?
What happened?
Texting each other.
Oh, what the fuck?
And with willing to support styles of relationships where they were being truthful to their partners and admitting the fact that they had practicing other styles of relationships where they were being truthful to their partners and admitting the fact that they had feelings for other people and doing it ethically.
Okay.
Currently, I am dissatisfied with my relationship status because I did just come out of a really bad breakup, so I am saying...
Oh, this person's monogamous. I would have thought that they were polyamorous. What the hell's wrong with polyamorous?
Single at this point, and I can be self-sufficient enough to enjoy my own company, but it's just in certain moments in life. Like, for example, I was taking a long road trip, and I just like imagined my ex, like, you know, me caressing her leg, like, while we're on the road trip, and you kind of wish that you just like had a person just to share those moments.
Yeah, I feel you. I only go on road trips with my wife. I am attached to my wife at the hip. I love my wife a lot. In fact, I am one of the lucky few people, I think, that have found true love. And when you find true love, you know what your future is going to look like. You know? It's going to look like one day one of you will die, and then that's it. And then it's just waiting until you're dead. Because nothing will ever be able to fill that void. That's the best my life has to offer. But I think that's the best life has to offer in general. So I'm really not upset about it. You know, truthfully speaking, I sit and I wonder which would be worse. You know? Which one would be worse? Would it be worse if I died first? Or would it be worse if she died first? Because I think that I wouldn't want to be alive without my wife. You know? And as a man that's a little older than my wife, I'm 5 years older, and life expectancy of men is a little bit shorter, I'll probably win that roulette. But then at the same time, if I pass away first, then my wife has to be alone without me. And I don't know what's worse for the both of us. Because I know how sad she would be. You know? But we've talked about it. So hey, you know, it's just what a sad thing to think about. You know? Who wants to think about that? So sad. A terrible thing. Terrible. I made myself depressed. All right, let's do it. Let's get this going.
So I practice parallel polyamory, which means that my husband and I see other people, and we don't necessarily need to meet or get along with the other people that we're seeing. And I love my husband. I've been with him for 18 years coming up, and I have some friends with benefits, but I am looking for someone else to be like in a relationship with that fulfills some needs that I'm not getting from my current partner. What I've been looking for, I'm starting to do.
What? See, that's my thing. Subsidizing the relationship. What needs are not being met by your partner? If you just want to fuck, I get that. Oh, well, we fucked. If you just want to get your fucking, if you just want to have sex, I do understand that more than anything else. Like, I get that. Like, oh, I just want to have sex with another person just because, like, I'm a fucking horny person. I can't control myself. Like, whatever. But if you're like, I'm not having my needs met in some way by my partner, that doesn't make no fucking sense to me. That just doesn't make this guy's gonna get it. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, unless, you know, you're married to a guy with a wiener and you want to do a vagina. That's different. I guess I would get that. But there's something that just doesn't add up to me. I'm just saying.
Probably determine that I'm not going to find one person who is going to fill the rest of these boxes, and I may have to separate that up into multiple other people, whether it's relationship-wise or otherwise. I'm Bunny, and I'm polyamorous. The way that I deal with jealousy is I like to break it down and ask myself, why? Why am I feeling jealous of my husband? Is it because he's spending time with someone else and I need more time with him or my other partners? Or is it something else? And once I break it down, I can then address those issues, such as requesting more time with that partner if I am feeling jealous that I am not getting enough time with them. Or I can take it upon myself to fill said time with someone else or with another activity to be able to not focus on the jealousy that I'm feeling.
Patriarchy.
Personally, I would just not be in that relationship. You know, that's how I feel about it.
Is the root of monogamy.
Patriarchy is the root of monogamy? I don't know, maybe. Who cares? Like, I feel like what a dumb question. But yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Maybe patriarchal relationships. Like would we say, like, I don't know. Is it? Because here's my thing. I feel like women, I don't know. I feel like women like marriage more. But at the same time, I feel like marriage benefits men more. Which I know sounds weird because a lot of people are like, well, women make less money and they benefit in that way. I think emotionally, men, if they respect the concept of the marriage and they don't look outside of it, they benefit substantially from the concept of, like, from a focusing perspective. Because as a guy myself, I remember my days where I used to just sit in there jerking off for a few hours a day, you know, hours at a time, like actually unbearable. And like, what a waste of time. And now I'm not doing that, and I have more productive, and I feel like I'm pushing closer to success, you know? So
In the little bit of like research, I guess, that I've been doing and realizing that it was absolutely contractual.
So then maybe my point is maybe it is rooted in patriarchy. I don't know. I mean, it's like a religious construct, but you know, I can't talk about religion because people are angry at me. They go, Papa, go, why do you always talk shit about religion? I say, shut the fuck up, pussy. Shut up, you fucking Bible thumper. I will say, people have been upset that I've been insulting religion a lot. I will say, let me give a compliment about people religion. The books, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like feeling the texture of a Bible in between your fingertips. So there's your religious, that's the best thing I could say about religion. What a beautiful thing. Very sensory.
It was absolutely for gain, advantageous reasons. It was never love.
Way back when.
That doesn't make any sense because there's no way men were advocating to only have one wife rather than as many as well. No, but that's the thing is I think that they were. Like religion is a patriarchal structure. Religion is a patriarchal structure, generally speaking. I mean, it advocates for men to be in control, women to be secondary, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so, like, if I would say that monogamy probably, maybe if you argue monogamy comes from religion, then it would be because of that patriarchal structure. Then again, I think people are just inherently, my understanding is people are like serial monogamists. Back in the day, they used to fuck one person for a few months and then kind of just move on. And fuck somebody else for a little while. You know, I was doing that for a while. I used to have sex with my Cheerios. It wasn't too bad. You know, that's why I like it wet. But, yeah.
And it was like you said, it was contractual. Like, women in general were an object to be purchased. While that has changed, that is still rooted.
Has it OnlyFans? I don't know.
Rooted in the system of monogamy and people thinking they need to be with someone forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that's how people stay in abusive relationships.
Yeah, maybe true. Some people.
I feel like there is a lot of pieces of monogamy that are rooted in that patriarchal sort of feel. However, there are a lot of people who feel like monogamy is just the best option for them and are connected to their person regardless of that. If we're thinking about queer relationships as well and people who are married to a partner of the same gender or outside of the norm, I don't feel like they are feeling that patriarchy.
I don't know if I would say that it's like the reason that everyone is monogamous. It does play a role in just the way that we just construct our realities.
But we see monogamy across so many species, and that has me wondering, obviously, in human society, it was a big component, but there's something so much larger than that in monogamy that reaffirms my belief that it's not really about the patriarchy. It's about this inherent need within us, and some of us lean
that makes sense. I respect that.
Towards monogamy, and some of us lean towards polyamory, and that's just the way it is.
Obviously, I'm a little bit older than everybody here. I grew up and really didn't know much different. Yeah. The churches were pretty much, this is right, this is wrong. You know, when somebody said polygamy, I was like, oh, they must live in Utah. That's about the only place you knew that.
I guess Utah used to be the meme. Now it's Ohio. I guess they live in Ohio. That'll be a big hit on YouTube Shorts. Won't do too well on TikTok, though, because the theme is already passed. Let's be real. But YouTube, I mean, they're getting all the piss and shit from, they're getting all the leftovers from like 6 months ago from TikTok. Trends are incredible.
Where that could possibly exist. And there was no discussion of why somebody has that relationship. You didn't talk about any of that.
We should make a distinction that it's not also polygamy. We are polyamorous. Okay. So polyamorous and polygamy are two just different things.
And see, a lot of it is...
Right, just information.
Yeah, polygamy is when one dude does a bunch of girls, right? Yeah, makes sense.
Grew up not knowing.
Right.
It's unrealistic to commit to being with someone forever.
My thing is, though, like, why would you only want to be married? If I was a guy... I feel like, and I had multiple wives. Okay, just kind of hear me out here. I think that I would want a guy, maybe a dude, one or two dudes. You know, I already got a cooking wife. I got a fucking wife. Maybe a television wife, you know, a wife that you can hang out. But what about your hobby husband? You know what I mean? Oh, I want to go and I want to go play a video game. You think I want to play Call of Duty with some woman? First of all, she's going to get offended by every single professional gaming word that I use. But men, they get it. I'm just letting off steam. You know what I mean? It's not bigoted. I just trying to get it out on the computer so that I don't say it in the real. I don't say it in the real world. All right, this is a joke. I don't say anything. I'm fucking Christian. I'm a Roman Catholic. I'm a God-fearing man. I don't say anything bad. We know those are the best people, so that's why, you know, right? But it makes sense. Why would you just want to be with chicks? I want a dude or two, because I mean, also a femboy. Why wouldn't I? Given the option. Oh, so yeah, it's unrealistic to commit somebody forever? No, because you don't live forever, right? So it's not unrealistic technically. I think it can be harder for different people. I think, me personally, that I can say don't think about the future too much in like a toxic way. You know, I'm with my wife. I'm very happy. The future might hold something different. We might open our relationship as we get older, but also I have no expectation of that. But if there's a particular need in my relationship that needs to be met, or for her, like, we'll have a conversation about that at the time, you know? So
I feel like we spend a lot of our lives dating and trying to figure out who we'd like to be with. We don't always get it right.
I
feel
always
like
do.
Thinking about it
Except
that way,
for the
it's
first 6.
unrealistic to think about the fact that the one person that you end up choosing will be your forever person. It could change in the future. The divorce rate is very high in this country, so I think that's an easy way to think about it.
Mm-hmm. I also think it fits into that fairy tale concept that, you know, this is the one. Yeah. And living on a planet that harbors like 7 billion people, I feel like that's highly unrealistic that you're just gonna be in love with just this one person your entire life. My name is Mel and I am monogamous. I've just had this self-discovery that there's so many things about myself that I just need to work on, and it's rooted in me just not wanting to go out of my comfort zone, and polyamory is definitely something that is out of my comfort zone. If I was to try it, maybe I would actually like it.
Comfort zone?
I think it really depends on the person. I mean, I feel like I can only speak for myself. You know, a lot of people do stay together for, say, you know, kids or something like that, or perhaps finances. It's, you know, a privilege to be able to maybe get divorced or live on one income. So I wouldn't say that it's a, you know, catch-all black and white issue.
I definitely feel that you can be with someone.
You know, I wonder with the whole kid thing, because I've said before, you know, I don't think people should necessarily just stay together for the kids. I think if you're in a really toxic relationship, it would be better of like amicably walking away from each other, maybe even still living together, but like breaking up, but in a peaceful way. Because I think the biggest issue is when people fight over their kids and everything. But if you're in a toxic relationship with your partner and you have kids, your kids are going to pick up on that, and then they'll form toxic relationships in the future. Because the best way to teach your kid is you know, visually. You're going to show them, you know, different mannerisms and whatnot. That being said, I feel like if you were in love before you had kids and you fell out of love, it's not to be rude. We always say it's not the kids, but it's probably the kids. Not their fault, but clearly you guys had interacted with having children in the incorrect way. And so, in that case, get a marriage counselor. That's just my, get a marriage counselor instead. Because maybe that's really what you need. Maybe you just need to reconnect. I mean, if you were in love once before, maybe you could be in love again. Maybe you just weren't ready for the struggles of having a baby.
Forever, but you're going to change as individuals as you grow, and it all depends on
and you're supposed to grow together. That's the beauty of it.
How those changes and work with each other. So if you're able to change and accept the changes of your partner, then you can be together forever. But a lot of people change, not necessarily in a bad way, but in an incompatible way.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I would also like to add, I did believe that I would have a forever person, but recent experiences
I prefer forever stamps from Costco. They're pretty cost effective, so.
Breakup that just happened, that's what changed my perspective. And I looked at it more logically. I should be more open to the fact that I will meet other people down the line, and I shouldn't assume that this person is going to be with me my entire life.
I've already
decided. I'm polyamorous, but I've been married to my first boyfriend since we were like teenagers. I think that's my forever person. And I believe that for me, and with the waves. And with
I feel like they wouldn't be polyamorous if they just didn't marry the first person that they met, to be completely honest with you. Because I feel like that's the problem. But you married your high school sweetheart. What are the odds that you guys are going to grow together in a compatible capacity? You know, it's hard to find that forever person. You know, you start off in, they said, high school, and then you very quickly grow into a different direction. All it takes is a slight, like, life path decision. You know, you haven't fleshed yourself out and what you want to be and how you want to interact, so...
The changes, you know, yeah, you make that recommitment over and over again. And I think that there can be that forever person for anyone, but I also understand experience plays a role in that tremendously, and I haven't had that experience of loss.
My opinions of this have shifted after being in a really toxic, bad relationship where I really wanted it to be my forever, but deep down I always knew it probably wasn't going to be feasible. And then after that relationship, I didn't want to be in a relationship at all. And this amazing person came into my life, and I knew.
That's when you find that, hey, you find love where you least expect it. It's incredible stuff. It really is beautiful.
And I tried to push him away, but it became evident that that was just my person.
Oh, shit. That sounds like assault, if you ask me. Okay, so you ever push somebody, if somebody pushes you away, guys, take the hint, okay? Don't be a weirdo.
My name is Luca, and I'm monogamous. After being in a polyamorous relationship, I really knew monogamy was the route I wanted to take. There was some jealousy going on in the relationship as to how I loved each person, and that I couldn't divide it 50-50, and I didn't want to. I want to be able to give 100% of myself to one person.
You really can only give so much of yourself. You can only give so much of your love to so many people. It doesn't matter who it is, whether it's romantic or not. You know, and I think that maybe that is going to be that is possibly something that impacts a relationship. So when you have kids, you love your kids, and that means that you're going to have less room for love for your partner. Doesn't mean you're going to love your partner less, but you're going to have less room for them. You know, and that's something I'm prepared for it. You know, but I get it. You know, so then imagine sharing with another partner. How do you have time for everything? You got kids, you got two partners, you got your mom. Thankfully, I don't have a dad. I don't have to worry about loving that piece of shit, you know? But it's just an interesting thing.
Oh, it's kind of making a sick beat right now.
Whoa, is it a dildo?
Hey, good humans. We can all agree sex and love are complicated. But the truth is you can explore your...
Is this... Okay, I don't need a sex watch. Get this off my screen. I'm a Mormon. I'm Mormon. Don't show me. That's disgusting. What the fuck are you showing me that for? God damn it.
And set a good example for my future relationships.
What? The home environment that I grew up in set a good example for my future relationships? You know, that's an interesting question. I'd say generally speaking, yeah. I had a little bit of a different home environment. I didn't have a father, but I had a mommy. She loved me very much. And we always had people living with us, which was always interesting. We always had family living with us, right? I think my mom has 3 sisters and 3 brothers, you know, and all of those sisters have lived with us at one time. So I think overall it's pretty solid. What am I supposed to do here?
I think for myself, I grew up seeing a lot of broken homes and people who had divorced parents, and I felt super fortunate that that wasn't my home life, and I'm sure it shaped me in ways that I'm not even able to comprehend. They were a really good example of the way that I want to treat another human.
My mother, I just remember her like doing it all. She was just like the pillar of strength, and I think just saying that, I always thought like, okay, I can do it no matter what, and if I have a husband that can complement that, then that's awesome. My name is Emerald, and I'm monogamous. My husband and I have been together for 17 years, and I think that within our monogamy, there's an issue that I have with him, then we're addressing it head on, and we're able to fix that within our relationship, as opposed to introducing other people. And so I think that over the years, our foundation has been strengthened simply because we're able to communicate to one another.
I grew up, my parents are married, they've been married from my birth to now. Eventually my mom stayed home and my dad kept working, but he still was trying to be active in my brother and mine's life. But as I developed mental health issues and became a difficult child, he did not cope well with that, and he kind of like pieced out for a bit. So I don't think that set a very great example, because in my greatest time of need, I would have appreciated if he stuck by my mom and stuck by me. So even if it is difficult for me to interact with my child, that's not what I want for my future.
My experience growing up was definitely similar to yours. My father was away a lot, so it was just me, my older sister, and my mom. And the way that my parents communicate, it's like their relationship, they can do pretty much over the phone. It's that lack of communication, and also having an emotionally unavailable mother. It definitely shaped a lot of codependency issues on my end.
My father was an alcoholic up and through my teenage years, and when he recovered, my mother became a really bad alcoholic. I guess a good precedent for monogamy, you stay together with the same person till death. They were together.
I wonder why that would happen. I wonder. That's insane. I wonder if it was like his coping mechanism, and without that, he became like a horrible person. Or that's so interesting. I wonder if there's part of that is that they got together. I wonder what it's like to date an alcoholic that's like on alcohol, and then they become sober and they just change so fundamentally. Do you think that people fall out of love? That would be so horrible. Imagine being an alcoholic and then like you start to get sober and then your wife is like, "Hey, I don't like something is wrong. You're so different and I don't like you. I don't love you anymore." And then you have to choose between drinking alcohol and, you know, slowly dying every day, or, you know, losing the love of your life. That's sad.
Together until she died, but it was not good for either of them. I don't think that they loved each other at the point in time that I saw them. All it kind of like says to me in that is like, don't stay with someone because you're supposed to, because you signed a piece of paper, or because you have children together. You need to take care of yourself first, because you can't be a good parent to your child. You can't be a good partner if you aren't taking care of yourself.
I grew up in a pretty religious household. There were certain ways that you needed to behave, certain ways that you needed to act and be.
I grew up in an ugly religious household.
And I played that role really, really well. And, you know, and I was applauded for it. And I was given opportunities because of it. And to kind of step out of that was really hard. And mainly because my family was just surrounded by a lot of secrecy. We don't talk about things. We shift them under the rug and we just bury our emotions.
She does not talk about Bruno. You know what I mean? She, did I say something? I might have accidentally, I think I might have actually said something great. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I've offended anybody. That was never, of course, never my intention.
As much as we can so that we don't really have to deal with it. And that is not at all how I'm choosing to lead my life. My name is Katie and I'm polyamorous. I struggled with my faith and also being a polyamorous person because this is absolutely completely
Oh no, did Jubilee get me? No, dude, this is crazy. That's wild. This is wild, man. This is so crazy. What's happening, man? Rest in pepperoni, that's what I'm saying. Oh, we don't talk about Bruno, no. Were we back yet? You guys let me know when we're back. Yeah, right. True. Life goes on and on and on and on and on. Is it still violent? What the hell's happening here?
Don't stay with someone.
Hard to even get.
And I was given opportunities because of it. And to kind of step out of that was really hard. And
we're back. Yeah, man. How crazy is that, though? How crazy is it that they keep giving me that stone cold stunner when I try to look at particular content? That's unfortunate. You know? Damn, that sucks. How crazy is that, though? Because I feel like they've never had this issue, you know? Reset your video, it's still blocked? I thought you just said it was fine. I swear people are saying that I'm good. We're back now, right? We back. Bro, come on. That was so bizarre. So bizarre. So unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know. It's got to be something new that's going on here. I don't understand it because there are other people having this issue on YouTube. So I don't really get what's happening because this is like it's not a Twitch problem, you know? Damn, man.
Welcome back to.
We might have to do like a Jubilee day on Twitch. Just we'll have to start having Twitch Jubilee days. Jubilee, what's like Tuesday or something, you know? Yeah, no, so last time I uploaded, last time we did a Jubilee video, I had a similar problem where I wasn't able to react to it on stream, and then I came off stream, I did a Discord reaction to it, and it was fine. And then I uploaded it, and it got struck, and then I repealed it, and they let it go through, and I'm just so curious as to what's going on with these Jubilee reactions. I wonder what it is. I truly wonder what it is. Because I feel like it would be antithetical to their brand to not allow reaction content. Okay, can you do a reaction if Aiden Ross does an interview with King Kim Jong-un? Sure, why not? Maybe we'll start doing a Jubilee day or something. Maybe that's the play, though, on like Twitch. The Jubilee Twitch day. That might be the play to make, baby. Jubilee January, yeah, we could do the whole month and then just do none for the rest of the month. I don't know if that'll fly, brother. I don't know if that'll fly, brother. Fly like a bird. Oh well, what are you gonna do, right? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when you go poo poo? Oh man, I wanted to actually kill that thing correctly. Boom. Interview with penguins? I don't know what that means. I don't know what interview with penguins means, bro. Wait a minute. I think I left my conscience on your front doorstep. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh. Wait a minute. You know, it's so funny. That one guy, he said he wanted the taint tickler said he wanted to talk about trans people, and he never fucking showed up. Oh yeah, well, what about Voice Critical? I don't understand the question though. Just interview him? What does that mean? I don't think that the two of us are like what? I don't know. I don't think that the two of us will ever really cross paths. We don't seem like the kind of people that are necessarily in tune with each other. So. Do 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 do. Ba da 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 da. Ba 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 da ba da da da. Oh, got him. Gored him. All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna go finish I'm just gonna finish that Jubilee video offline. So you know, it's only a little. There's not even that much left of it. I'm surprised that they even DMCA. It's just crazy to me. Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all. Take care. Have a good one. Bye. Love you. Okay, so I gotta finish this video offline. Jubilee's been so weird lately. They've been hitting people with the old DMCA strikes, so that like the stream shut down for a little bit, and whatever. We got through most of it though. We're 18 minutes in, 3 minutes left. Gonna let me keep going? Anyway, let's keep going.
Frowned upon in our community. I was a worship pastor for many, many years in a very conservative church. When I decided to just be a little bit more truthful with who I was, I had to really re-wrap my mind around what I truly conceive God to be and what that love towards me looks like. I realized there was just no way that I could keep hiding this really important part of myself.
A polyamorous relationship is appropriate for raising a family.
Appropriate? Sure, I guess. I mean, I just don't know. I mean, we haven't seen any statistics about it, you know, so I just don't know. I guess I haven't really explored the concept of that, you know? Maybe? Sure? What would be the inappropriate parts? I guess as long as the relationship is healthy. Because you would argue, like, no, I don't think it's appropriate because you're exposing kids to what? Like, the idea of being able to be with multiple people, I don't think that's necessarily a toxic idea. Maybe it could confuse them, but I don't know. I guess I just haven't really fleshed out that thought. So
I have a 6-year-old, and me and my 2 partners, we raise him, and Baltimore City, you know, schools knows about it. My son has an IEP, so that means he has some learning disabilities, and there's 3 people to support, to be there for him. So I don't know, I think for me, just it's allowed me the freedom to, you know, kind of go after goals, go after
maybe
dreams, and have.
I see, that's where it gets like a little bit of weird for me, right? So before I was talking about how, in general, you only have so much energy that you can give to multiple people. And so one issue I could potentially see, I'm not saying that this is an absolute truth, I'm still fleshing out, like I said, but one issue you could potentially see is, you know, having less room with multiple partners means less room for your kids, right? It's going to mean less room for somebody. And her saying, oh, I have more time for whatever goals and whatnot, to me that suggests, you know, that might be true. I mean, you know, if you have more time for one thing, and you have less time for your kids, right? You're less spending less time with your kids potentially. If you're saying that you're going to use other people to subsidize it, then again, I don't know how fair that is, because my mom worked a lot, and a lot of other people in my family were a big active role. So I guess at the same time, we're still doing this in regular relationships. So I don't know. Still fleshing it out.
I have the support system still at home, and I know my son is lacking nothing. I mean, it's tricky because, you know, you have other little kids are like, oh, why does Lucas have 2 moms and a dad, you know? And it's just kind of easy to just be, you know, families just look different sometimes. Just being more open about it, even that in itself is going to give kind of just more space for these family structures to be just respected, because I know that in my community, I think we're the only ones really kind of openly being this way about who we are. And we haven't seen any sort of backlash or anything like that, so.
You know, like logically, practically, it does make sense to have that support. And we're also talking about kids when we say family. I think it expands much further than that. And so you see people who already have multiple parents with stepdads, stepmoms. And so I see no reason that this is not an addition to that, you know? So I just want to put that forth too.
That makes sense.
You know, the one thing I heard is the 3 of you, whatever you got to do, you're going to do so he can be successful and loved and cared for and feel safe and be safe. My name is Mike, and I am monogamous.
Wow. Back in the day, back when Jubilee wasn't about yelling and stuff, because these people seem to be pretty like nice and nurturing and caring and whatnot for each other.
Love about my wife so much and makes our marriage special is she puts up with me, and we have found ways that we support each other with what we like to do professionally and spiritually and help out. And I think that's a lot of what I took away today. I saw that with the other side.
So as for like my household, we have 5 children. Our parents live 2.5 hours away, so it's mainly us doing the brunt of the school pickups, drop off, all that kind of stuff. While I do see that it would be very beneficial to have someone else, I think that's why nannies are available, babysitters, that kind of thing, trying to add someone else to our lifestyle.
But these are free babysitters. Okay, it's actually economically it might make sense to be poly. You ever think about that? I didn't till just 2 seconds ago.
Would make me so anxious. It would just be like, oh my gosh, there's another person in the house that needs something, that has to do something, and then somebody else has to deal with, and then they possibly want sex tonight. I would be like, I'm over it. So
I mean,
that's how I feel. That's how it feels.
Like Google calendars exist. Like I get what you're saying, and that there is like a lot of that in the polyamorous community where you're interested in someone and they're like, hey, look, I really like you, but I just don't have the bandwidth right now to add another partner. But at the same note, if you or your husband got another partner, they could watch the kids while the 2 of you go out on a date night. Like that would add time for you and your husband to be able to go off while like, because they could, you know, be integrated into the family.
All right, we can cut.
All right, cool. I mean, I can't believe I couldn't finish that on stream. How wild. But yeah, interesting video. So cool.